One of the best things that you can do for yourself to grow in your career, whether as a PhD student or a young professional or anybody in general, is to attend conferences. I can't begin to list the number of benefits that I've gotten and I'm still getting just because I attended a lot of conferences when I was a PhD student. I just recently completed my PhD in chemical engineering last year, and while I was a PhD student, I attended so many conferences, and by attending those conferences, it not only gave me the opportunity to share my ideas with people, to have meaningful conversations with people that helped me, it also gave me the opportunity to make meaningful connections. See, maybe in a different video I'll talk about that, but I have made so many connections by attending conferences that has helped me, whether in terms of when I needed recommendation letters, or these people just recommending me for things that will help my career. So I always highly recommend that PhD students attend conferences. But now the problem is that these conferences are not cheap. They are not cheap. They can be very expensive. Registration fee can go as high as $500 or more, and then you still have to pay for accommodation, and usually these accommodations are not cheap because most times these conferences will take place in like big places, big cities. For instance, when I attended the conference in New York City, that was in 2022, I think. The conference was right in the heart of New York City in Times Square, and of course that should tell you that hotels around that place are really expensive. I know I had to pay like $350 a night to stay in a hotel in Times Square. So tell me, as a PhD student, how are you supposed to be able to fund the registration, fund the accommodation, and even fund your flight or your drive to the location, and also fund your feeding? Because usually these conferences will last for like 3 to 5 days. Of course, you have to eat for these 5 days. Now the question is, how are you supposed to get money to fund these conferences? I am of the opinion that as a PhD student, you should not be paying for conference attendance from your pocket, and I never paid for that during my PhD, and that is what I'm going to be sharing with you guys in this video. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Jane, and I just completed my PhD in chemical engineering last year, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys how I was able to attend so many conferences without having to pay $1 from my account. See, I attended conferences in different states in the US. I know I went to New York City, I went to Boston, I went to Chicago, I went to Rhode Island, I went to New Orleans. Like, I can't begin to count how many places I went to attend one conference or the other, and I never had to pay anything from my pocket. So for you to attend a conference as a PhD student or a graduate student in general, the first place to look at, your primary source of funding to attend a conference, should be from your advisor. Usually, some advisors are willing to sponsor their students to attend conferences, while in some cases, some advisors are not willing. I know in my own case, my advisor was not willing to pay 100% of the expenses. He always wanted us to get our own funding, and if for some reason the funding is not enough to cover all our expenses, he would then give us the balance. I did not like that, but that put me in a position where I had to source for other sources of income to be able to fund the conference attendance. And also, I want to say that if you find yourself in a research group where your advisor is not willing to fund your conference attendance at all, to me, I think that's a really big red flag. I did not think about this at the beginning, but if you are someone that, if you are still like a potential PhD student, I highly recommend that this is one of the questions that you should ask before you join a lab. Like, how do you guys fund conference attendance? Does the advisor pay for it, or do you have to look for money for yourself? I'm not saying you should enter a lab if they don't fund it, but at least so you know what to expect before you join the group. Another place that you can get money to fund your conference attendance is from the conference organizers themselves. So some conferences make these provisions where they will award free registration and sometimes even free accommodations and travels to some participants. I know there's one conference that I usually attend what they do is when you are applying, like when you're submitting your abstract, they will ask you, do you want to apply for this financial aid to sponsor your travel? If you say yes, you get to fill in a little form, and then at the end of the whole thing, when they are selecting people, they will select some people. Of course, they cannot give everybody funding because they need the registration money to run the conference, but they will select some people and give them the grant. When you are submitting an abstract for a conference you want to attend, I recommend that you go through the website and check if they have any kind of grants for students to apply for. Sometimes a branch of the conference organizers will also have funding to fund students to attend that conference. For instance, let's say you want to attend, like me now as a chemical engineer, let's say I want to attend American Institute of Chemical Engineers conference. We call it AKI. There might be a chapter of AKI that will be willing to fund some students to attend, say for instance the women organization in AKI or the minority organization or just something. So keep an eye for all those things. Go through the website, go to their website, go to their LinkedIn page, go to their Twitter page, just check all those things. You might find them announcing that you can apply for this and they will fund your conference attendance. But also know that for most times, if not all the time, for them to fund your conference attendance, you have to be presenting in that conference. So it's always, for me, I have never attended a conference where I did not present something. I mostly have given a talk in all the conferences that I've attended. I think it was one in person that I gave a poster and one virtual I gave a poster, but all my conferences I've always had the opportunity to give an oral presentation. So you have to submit an abstract most times for you to be considered for these grants. Another place that you can get funding to sponsor your conference attendance is from your school itself. There are different ways you can get funding from your school, and most times people don't know this thing because schools don't come out and announce it. But if you check the nooks and crannies, or how do they say it, you will find these things. I'll share my own experience with you guys. One of the ways is by getting travel grants from your department. Not all department offers this, but I know some departments pay for their students to attend conferences. So what you have to do is to ask. Sometimes you wouldn't know these things if you don't ask. So if you're a graduate student, go to your graduate student coordinator and ask them, is there any provisions for us to attend conference? I want to attend this conference or that conference that will really be helpful in my research or in my professional growth in general. Can the department fund my conference attendance? So ask your department. Another way to get funding from your school is to get travel grants from associations in your school. In my own case, I know I got one travel grant from I did engineering, chemical engineering. So I was part of the Arts, Science and Engineering Association in my school, and they had these travel grants they award to PhD students, not just PhD students, graduate students every year. So I applied for it and I won it, and they gave me the money that I used to pay part of my travel while my advisor paid the rest. So check your school associations if they have any kind of travel grants that they award. Another way you can get funding still from your school is by checking the different financial aid offices in your school. For instance, in my own case, one of the years I wanted to attend a conference, as usual, my advisor will not pay everything. He will ask you to try to get grants, then if it's not complete, he will complete it for you. And I didn't have any travel grants or anything. I applied for the grants in the conference. I was not successful. So I was looking for a grant. I'm like, I need to find money to attend this conference. And I always encourage people to talk. Let people know your problem. This is when it comes to grad school, when it comes to PhD, don't keep your problem to yourself. Speak out. When you share your problem with people, you will find solution. At least I'm saying this based on my own experience. So what happened that day was that I was just talking with a lab mate of mine. I was like, oh my God, I got accepted to give an oral presentation in this conference, but now I don't have any grants. I'm really looking for money. Like, time is going and I need money to apply to register. And he was like, have you spoken to this lady in so-and-so office? She's very good at finding money for students. I'm like, really? He said, yeah. Immediately I sent an email to the lady. So she worked in one of the offices in my school. I sent her an email saying, hi, my name is so-and-so. I got accepted to present this conference and I'm looking for funding to attend. She responded immediately. I was like, yeah, sure, I can help you with that. Let me connect you with so-and-so in this office. And she forwarded the email to someone in a different office. And the person responded and sent me a link and said, yeah, they actually have provision for funding students who attend conference that should fill this form and send back to their office, and they will put into consideration. And I filled the form, I sent it to the office. Immediately they approved it. That was how within few minutes of just talking with my lab mate, I got funding that covered my hotel. My hotel was like $1,200. They covered the hotel, they covered my flight, and that was how I was able to attend my conference. So check. Talk to people, ask questions, go to your admin, go to anybody, talk with your colleagues. Some of these things, they don't just announce it. I don't know, they don't make it public, but it is there. If you don't ask, you will not find out. Another way to still get funding from your school is from getting fellowships and grants from your school. So sometimes they are like organized fellowship, either from the department or from the school, that you can get. I know I got one from my department, but that one wasn't specifically for travel. So what they did was to be adding it to my stipend. So if I was supposed to be getting $100 every month, I was getting like maybe $120 that year. But some of these grants, some of these fellowship, if you apply for them and you win them, they will have a portion that is for you to use and attend conferences. So look out for all these fellowships and grants from your department, from the school in general. For, let's say if you're in School of Science or School of Arts, go to the School of Arts website, not just your particular department, the school in general. Check, they usually will have like fellowships and grants that you can apply for. Please apply for those things. One of the mistakes that a lot of people make is that, because as a PhD student, your research is dealing with you, you'll be like, I don't think I'm qualified for this thing. Should I go and should I apply? Maybe if I apply, instead of it to be saying, I don't think I'm qualified, should I maybe go ahead and apply it? Just go ahead and apply. If you don't get it, fine. But if you don't apply it, you wouldn't know if you'd have gotten it or not. So whatever you see, any fellowship, any grant, just apply. Seriously, just apply. Don't sabotage yourself, just apply. Then the fourth way that you can get funding to attend conferences is by looking for external fellowships and grants. There are a lot of external fellowships that you can apply for. So for instance, all you have to do is look at your program. Just go online and search for this program. These grants might be program specific, or they may be research specific, or they may even be for women. Let's say if you're a woman, they might be for women, or they might be for like minority in your field. Just search. There are a lot of external fellowships out there. Just search for them and apply. So I've given you guys different ways that you can fund your conference attendance. These were the ways that I used to fund all my conference attendance. Trust me, there were times when I attended 2 or more conferences in a year, and I never for one day used my own money too. And for me, if you watch my previous video, you remember I said I used to take my conference attendance as a mini vacation. So it was never a time that I used my own personal money to fund these mini vacations. So I want to hear from you guys. If you've attended conferences, where did you get money to attend a conference, or how has the experience been for you? I also know that some people are going to be asking me, which conference should I attend? Can you recommend some conferences? Now, conferences are department specific and research specific. For me, I'm a chemical engineer, so I attend the American Institute of Chemical Engineers conference. I attend the American Chemical Society conference. I attend the North American Catalysis Society, which is my field. I can attend the NSBE, that is the National Society of Black Engineers. I also attend NOBUSHE. NOBUSHE is National Organization for Chemical something NOBUSHE. I'll put it here. I can't really remember what it means right now. So there are different conferences. It all depends on your program. Just go online and search for those conferences, and also talk with your advisors. Advisors, they attend conferences every year, so talk to them. I also remember I attend Gordon Research Conference. That one is more general, so you can look that up. Gordon Research Conference. So there are a lot of conferences you can attend, which is program specific. So I would like to hear from you guys. Can you please tell me in the comment section your field and the conferences that you attended or you can attend, so that others will read and learn. Thank God this year just started. I hope you guys will use these tips and get money to attend conferences and have a great time advancing your career. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.